Hey guys, what's up? I'm Jan, and for this video, we got like the best motherboard in like existence right now. This is the ASUS Republic of Gamers Rampage 4 Black Edition, and like every awesome like Republic of Gamers motherboard, it comes with Assassin's Creed. So it comes with Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. So let's talk about what it says on the box, because the box is more interesting than the product itself. So we're at the bottom, it says supports Core i7, so it supports all the new Extreme Editions, so Ivy Bridge E, Sandy Bridge E, you name it. It comes with the Intel chipset X79 with the LGA 2011 CPU socket. It supports NVIDIA SLI and AMD Crossfire with all those PCIe lanes. That's just gonna be all it supports, really. You have a little flap here. You can see the OC panel and the motherboard through some nice plastic, because plastic is really nice. I'm going to talk about the OC panel a bit. It shows you all these cool features: Wi-Fi Go, Extreme Engine Digi Plus 3, so like their highest digital power delivery like system in like all of existence is built into this motherboard. I don't want to break anything, so I want to like open this up without like it breaking. So on the back, it pretty much tells you like everything it supports. So all the CPU side, it supports i7 processors for LGA 2011. So like Sandy Bridge E, Ivy Bridge E, I think I mentioned already. X79 chipset, memory control. So it has 8 DIMM slots, supporting up to 64 gigabytes of DDR3 memory at 2800 megahertz, I'm assuming. So really fast ports the Intel XMP. We'll talk about everything else in just a bit as we get this opened. So I'm gonna get that bit out. So ROG motherboards are so packaged so well. They have all the different compartments and everything, and I don't want to rip anything right now. So I'm just gonna pull this out. There's a motherboard and OC panel. We're gonna look at that in just a bit. This is the accessories. Accessories are extremely important and crucial to your motherboard, so we're going to unbox that first. So I'm going to go undo this flap here. Or I'm not. I don't know how this wants me to do it. Alright. It's brand new in the box, so I don't want to break anything. So let's see what we got for accessories. So it has its little X socket thing. We have a LGA standard 2011 backplate, and with the Allen key to remove the one that's already pre-installed. So if you want to install like the coolers that were for 1366 that supports the X socket, that's pre-installed on the motherboard. We have tons of SATA cables, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 SATA cables. Half are right angle, so the ones that are, yeah, they each come with, it's either black or white, and each supports one straight and one angled. You have our Q connectors, all in black, as opposed to the white and blue ones. I don't know why they supported that unlike the other ones. RG Connect cable. We have a, this is for the OC panel. It is really cool. It's sleeved. Not the tightest sleeving, but most of the cables are hard to see, so no section of that. Awesome metal case badge. I'm going to install this in my case at the end of this video. It'll be awesome. We have the wireless adapter here, so it's going to be really cool. It has for the wireless AC and Bluetooth, padded I/O shield. We have you have your thing on the back for your Assassin's Creed code. You have your thick manual, which is in what many languages? One language, English. You have your driver's disc, which you actually will need to install. Did they come with any free software? Because there have been people saying, oh, we have to get rid of, there's like the software and stuff, and doesn't come with any software. So if it came with like Kaspersky or whatnot, you want to keep the disc. Okay, it comes with Kaspersky and Daemon Tools, or as it says in the back, the back of the box. So you want to install that up here because you can't get that online. Otherwise, install all the drivers and whatnot from the internet. It's really cool. You have your stickers, so to label all your hard drives. And over here, you have a 3-way SLI bridge, 4-way SLI bridge. You have a 2-way SLI, long flexible one. You have a crossfire bridge in black, really awesome. In here, you have the adapter for the 5 1/4 inch bay for your OC panel, and you have some screws to install it because it just slides in like that. So I'm going to go put that back in here. And I'm going to go, we'll go on to the unboxing part of the motherboard in just one moment after I clean this mess up. Alright, so let's go on to the motherboard section and the OC panel. So we'll talk about the OC panel in just a bit. I'll take off the shield which holds it, and we'll talk about some of the features it does contain. I'll just stuff this back here. Let's talk about the motherboard now. So, oh, this is such a nice motherboard. So, out of all motherboards I've ever seen, this one has to take the award for being the most, like, awesome looking one. So, I don't want to break it or anything. Just take that as carefully as possible. I mentioned this is an expensive motherboard. It's about $500. It's probably the most expensive. Oh my goodness, it's heavy. This heatsink is heavy. All right, let's go show the back first. So, well, I didn't notice they had that. So on the back, you have your X socket thing. So the other one's like stronger. This one. So this one will support like your old 1366 X socket supported coolers. So that's why this backplate's here. If you want to use standard LGA 2011 one, you have to install the one that was installed in the back. And it comes with all the tools for it, so don't worry too much about that. We have some, well, geez, I'm going to break this already. We have some VRM heat sinks here, so we have one up on the top, and then on the bottom we have this nice backplate for the, what looks like to be the PCIe bridge. It looks really cool, and it's aluminum, so I don't want to touch it. I'm going to stop touching it already. It's mounted with screws, so if you don't want it, or for whatever reason, you can remove it. It's not doing anything, and it's not touching the back of the piece. It's not touching it at all, so there's a nice, maybe like ½ centimeter gap between this and the motherboard. So I'm assuming it's there just so you don't puncture anything back there. Those are the most sensitive components, or some of the most sensitive components on the back of the motherboard, mind you. And yeah, so let's look at the board itself. Oh, it just looks awesome. I'm actually going to bring the camera a bit closer so you guys can see a bit close up of what features are supported here. Okay, so here's the motherboard itself. It looks just awesome, using a matte black PCB, all black components, a couple of red accents here and here there, so the logo there, the start and the Wii capsules there, but we're going to go clockwise order about the board itself. So let's start with the I/O section without looking at the I/O itself. So on here you see there's a little plastic thing here. It says Rampage Black Edition here, Rampage 4 Black Edition. It has some nice patterns here. So it's just a metal cover for this. It's serving another purpose. It's making the heatsink here a bit more seamless in the design. So there's actually a heatsink here. It's cooling some of the components here, but it's actually just helping to dissipate the heat that's connected to this heatsink that's covering the Extreme Engine Digi+3 VRM. So you have that awesome power delivery that they have over there. On the top here also you're going to see there is a 4-pin, and there's also an 8-pin, or wait, you can't see that here. So there's a 4-pin power connector, there's an 8-pin power connector there. You only need the 8-pin. The 4-pin is pretty much only for a case where you're using liquid nitrogen and you're going to need more power there. I'm also going to just tilt this up here. You have a 4-pin, you have your CPU fan header here. Is it using there? No, it's not. So you have a 4-pin fan connector there, and you have your readout there. There's also another 4-pin fan connector. There has a lot of 4-pin fan connectors. We're going to look at that in just a moment. Okay, so you have your 8 DIMM slots, so 4 on each side, supporting quad channel memory up to 64 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. It's awesome. You have power delivery, or enhanced power delivery for that. They're all using their special thing, I don't know what they call it. You can insert one, when you insert your DIMM, you only have to pop it in, locks on one side. So it's useful where you have like graphics cards on the first slot. Wow, you have a graphic, you can install graphics on the first slot. That's a new one. Yeah, so you can install your graphics card on the first slot here, and you don't need to have the locking connector there. You can just pop it out by unlocking it on this side and then going from there. On this side, you have a lot of fan connectors. So I believe this is a temperature probe connector. So you have your temperature probe. You can use Fan Expert 3 or Fan Expert 2 rather with AI Suite 3 to connect or configure your fan curves and whatnot. You have a couple more fan headers. So you have one here, another temperature probe. What is that probe? Okay, this is a temperature probe. This is a jumper for something. This is another fan header. So you got 3 fan headers on the top. You have your CPU fan header being one of them. Another CPU fan header here. You have another temperature probe connector there. You have your 24-pin connector. You have your start, reset buttons. You have your LED post readout. Very useful. I've used it a lot on all my other RG boards. Have a Maximus 5 Gene, Maximus 5 Formula. Very useful. You have a 24-pin connector, if I haven't mentioned that already. You have your LEDs here. So when you post, when it posts, you have the LEDs telling you what part of the post process it's working on. And you have your voltage readouts. And you also have little LEDs on the voltage readouts. So if a overclock or something fails, you can see exactly what failed by looking at those LEDs there. You have a USB 3.0 header here, unlike the Maximus 5, not Maximus 5, Rampage 4 Extreme. This only has one header. The this is to support the other two USB ports on the back of the motherboard. Anything else here? You have your CPU socket, I mentioned that already. So in the center, you have your CPU socket. LJ2011, you have to use both arms to get at the CPU socket itself, so you can lift it up as so, or something like that. I don't want to break it, so I'm just gonna assume it does something like that. Oh, okay. Okay, so you have one thing there that's holding this in place, and then you have your other arm here. I don't want to break it because I don't have a CPU at the moment. I don't want to mess it up. So 211 pins, you don't want to rip those out. I guess we can go over to the SATA connectivity here. So over here, I really wish the USB 3.0 header was in right angle mode. So you have 6 USB 3.0 ports, not USB 3, SATA 3, so Gen 3 ports, and then 4 SATA 2 ports there. So you have 6 gigabit per second and 4 3 gigabit per second. They're still really nice. They has an extra chip to support that. I believe only 2 are off the Intel chipset, so you only have support for RAID configurations on 2 of those 6 gigabit per second ports. So you might just want to get a RAID controller. You already spent $500 on a board. I don't think another $100 or $200 is a stretch for that. You have 2 physical BIOS chips over here, so you can remove them, and you can switch between your BIOSes. There's a BIOS switch over here, so you can switch between them. So those are just 2. Use a little thing to connect it. What is this jumper? Is this... I don't know what that jumper is for. You have your front panel connectors here. You have another temperature probe there. This is for your RG, the whatchamacallit, OC panel, is what they call it, right? OC panel thing. So that's where you have that. Your OC key thing is here. So I guess it supported OC key, which is what they had in the Extreme of the Rampage 4 Extreme and the previous Maximus Extreme, where you can overlay stuff on your display. BIOS switch here, if I haven't mentioned that before. 2 more USB, not USB, I'm saying everything's USB here. 2 more 4-pin fan headers, 2 USB 2 ports, or internal headers. Just seeing what else I got. This is your TPM, I don't know what that is for. You have your front panel connectors here for your audio. And what else we have here? Ooh, look at this. This is your isolated PCB section for your Supreme Effects Black. So this is their highest version of Supreme Effects they've ever made. It's also shared as the only motherboard has it with the Maximus 6 formula. So let's actually see what they have to say for themselves here. So you have a lot of cool stuff here. So it has Elna Premium caps over there. Supreme Effects shielding plus EMI protection cover. It really doesn't do too much because the case is already noisy, but it does help with a little bit. So that's that shielding over the sound chip. You have your differential design with premium op amps. So you got your op amp section somewhere. It's really hard for me to see because I have to see it from the camera. WEMA film capacitors. So those are those red things there. Cirrus Logic CS4398 DAC. So that is right there. You also supports a TPA 61 two 600 ohm hi-fi headphone amplifier on your front panel, so you can support up to 600 ohm impedance headphones. Really cool, really nice feature they have there. This does illuminate red, so this entire section of the PCB is just awesome. So yeah, and you also have your optical audio header there. You have an easy plug here, so this is where if you want to connect more than 2 graphics cards, you may want to use it. It's a 4-pin LP4 or Molex connector, as most people like to call it. Now let's talk about the PCIe layout, because it does differ slightly from the I keep saying Maximus, Rampage 4 Extreme. So the Extreme pretty much has the same exact configuration, other than the fact that the Extreme would have a 16x slot here. You're not losing too much because there aren't too many 3-slot cards anymore. Everyone goes down to 2-slot. Even when they had the 680 to the 770, ASUS decided to go with a dual slot configuration, which is really nice. Even the 780 Ti uses a dual slot configuration. You don't need 3 slots. It's probably an overkill card, and unless you're using like a matrix card, okay, then you can use 1, 2, 3. So you could use this and this. Yeah, but you can turn off your PCI slots, by the way, if I didn't mention that earlier, with these dip switches here. So just turn them off if you have like a water block, you don't want to have a GPU on. Alright, so here's your configuration. You have a 16x slot here, 16x, 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 1x, 1x. So if you want to support your graphics card settings, let me just double check what it would be, what mode it would be in. I believe it would be, okay, you have 16x if you have 1 card, 16x, 16x if you're using 2 cards, 16, 16, 8, 16, right? No, 16, 16, 8, 8 if you're doing a, let me just double check. Is it 16, 16, 16 if you're doing 3-way, and 16, 16, 8, 8 if you're doing a 4-slot configuration? I don't think you can support any more than that. You have 2 1x slots, and they're open-ended, so you can actually install graphic cards in those. If you want to use this for coin mining, which is extremely obsolete at this point, to do it on, unless you have like an ASIC card, but this is a gaming board. You spent $500 on it. Don't waste your money on anything else. Bitcoin mining really isn't worth it anymore. You have your RG logo here, so this is like the same thing as the Maximus 5 formula, which has the pulsating eye thing here. You can unplug it for whatever reason. You can also change it in the BIOS. So this does pulsate. That's like pretty much the only red accent, along with the isolated PCB here. So most of this is red. You can turn off the LEDs completely if you want an all black theme. And yeah, let's go to the back panel we have over here. Okay, so back panel. We have a PS2 combo port, so mouse or keyboard, 2 USB 2 ports, 2 more USB 2.0 ports, so 4 USB 2.0 ports, 6 USB 3.0 ports. So instead of the 4 that came with the Rampage 4 Extreme Edition, instead of having 2 internal headers, you have 1 internal header, and you have 6 ports on the back. 2 unpowered 6 gigabit per second eSATA ports, 1 Intel gigabit NIC. You have 7.1 audio out with optical audio supported with your optical connector, and you have a 2 ports for the antenna, which supports 802.11 Wi-Fi AC, which is the fastest standard, plus Bluetooth 4.0. You also have here a clear CMOS button and a RG connect button. I do not know which port you use it to connect to, but I think you can use any one. So we'll just actually, it's this. I believe it's this port, which supports RG connect. And yeah, that's the only one that looks slightly different, or I'm just seeing the light differently. So yeah, so that is pretty much it for this unboxing. This board is really prickly. I think I just like poked myself with it. That's pretty much it for the Rampage 4 Black Edition. It's a great board. It looks awesome. Supports all the connectivity. You have awesome onboard audio with a 600 ohm impedance amplifier. Lots of SATA connections, although if you need more, you probably want to get a RAID card. If you want to do RAID configuration, you can't really do much with this. And it looks awesome. So I guess I'll finish it up by installing this awesome metallic magnetic case badge to my case. What does it say? Warning, this accessory contains magnets. Keep it away from magnetic objects and out of children's reach, because magnets are bad for children for whatever reason. you don't want to kill children by using magnets now. And I think that's it. Anything else I should mention? Let's see what the box has to say. So Bluetooth, DGVRM, la 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 la. Oh, we didn't go over OC panel. I completely forgot about that. Alright, so let's go into the OC panel. I'll do that in a separate shot. Alright, almost forgot about this. This is probably one of the coolest overclocking utilities they have ever made. So this is the OC panel, an upgrade over the OC key, which just like had an overlay of your display. So this is something you can install as a standalone device. So there is a kickstand. I don't know how to open it. Found it. Actually, I don't want to break it. How does this kickstand thing work? Oh my goodness, I think I broke it. Okay, you can have it stand like this. So you can see a lot of cool things. You can check out, you can turn it on, change your fan configurations. You have a lot of nice soft rubber buttons over here to control things like clearing things. Clear CMOS, OC, change your OC things. I don't know what that does. Yeah. Uses SATA power SATA power, and that cable that was in there that was sleeved and whatnot and cool. As I said before, you can connect this to that adapter before and install this into it for a 5 1/4 inch device, although you don't really get to use the buttons. So yeah. Now here is where like the extreme overclocking comes from. Bam. Yeah. So it has more stuff. You have VGA hotwire, which you can connect probes to your ASUS supported graphics card and overvolt your GPU like crazy. You have 4 more. What are those? Yeah, you have 4 more 4-pin fan connectors. You need to do some fan control on that. You have another temperature probe, I believe. Yeah, it's a temperature probe, right? Yep. What is this? Pause and slow-mo dip switches, so turn it on and off. I think I'll keep those off if I were to use this motherboard. And yeah, essentially that's all they have. If you want to, so you can do, is there voltage readouts here? No, you do temperature readouts here. So they have their sub-zero thingy here, so you can use a K probe to actually accurately check your temperatures. Make sure it's connected though. And I want to say that's it, but you can never be too sure with this. So VGA hot wire, PCB made in China. I don't really care too much about that. And that's really it. So that's it for the OC panel. So you could do lots of overclocking stuff on here that you couldn't do with everything else. So here's my final verdict. This is one of the fewest motherboards that has like a complete suite of overclocking features. They have gone down to detail, even work on their onboard audio, supporting things like VGA hotwire, which you can't do with too many other motherboards. You're supported with some really high-end components for power delivery, power components for your memory, and it has a lot of DIMMs. Mention that. It uses an eATX form factor, so it's 10 to ATX. It's slightly shorter than the full standard for eATX, but it's eATX nonetheless. It will not fit in a lot of chassis because it is quite large. And right. So I think that's it, guys. If you have any questions, be sure to subscribe, post your comments below, and I guess we can go on from there. It's supposed to go like this. Yeah, it's supposed to go on like this. And that will be it. Yeah, I'm just going to go stick this onto my case, and then we'll go on to outro. So, guys, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more stuff. Oh. Alright, here's the RG badge. I'm gonna put it here. Maybe it looks cool there. Actually, it looks not bad there. Maybe a little bit higher. No, it won't go. There's plastic there. I don't like it there. On the side of the case. There. That actually looks somewhat nice. Yeah, I'm gonna stick it there for now, and we'll go on from there. Thanks for watching, guys, and outro time. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Jan from ID. Thanks for watching this video. If you're interested in watching more of our videos, we do have that JCCJ Cat link down there. So you can subscribe to our channel, check out our previous videos, and just stay up to date with us by subscribing, like I said a couple seconds ago. There's also over on this side a like and dislike button and the subscribe button there also. So just hit the buttons that you think you should press. And that's pretty much it. I'm Jan from ID. That comment section there is for you to post your suggestions, comments, concerns, criticisms, and I will respond to you as soon as I can. Anyway guys, I'm Jan from ID. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching, and I'll check you guys out later.